Jai Hind everyone, welcome to another episode of Katha. Today we have Mrs. Neeti Bhala, who is the principal of Mayo College Girls Ajmer. It's an honor to have you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be at Sunbeam School Lehrtara. It's a beautiful campus and you guys are really amazing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, let's move. With your permission, can we start with the podcast?
Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Let's move on with the first question. As this round square is all about leaders and leadership qualities, so how do you personally define leadership and how has that definition evolved throughout your time?
Throughout my own journey?
Yes.
Well, leadership is an instinctive quality or an attribute in an individual. You don't have to be heading an institution. You don't have to be sitting on a very high seat to be a leader. Anybody who takes an initiative, anybody who makes sure that the initiative is the right initiative and for the greater good is a leader in themselves. Be it in a small group when you play downstairs and in your communities, you'll find leaders who take these wonderful initiatives and they gather everybody and say, come on, let's go and play and let's do this and how about this? So it's an attribute or it's a value that you have, and that's something that needs to get spotted, and then you groom them and you make them better leaders in terms of guiding them to take the right decisions, guiding them to be problem solvers, guiding them to be more successful in their leadership endeavors. But I always feel that so when I choose leaders in my school as well, or when we select the leaders in my school, something that I'm very particular about is that the person should have a quality of being kind, being empathetic, being grounded, try and be an all-rounder, and then leadership can be groomed, can be brought into that person. A person who has their the DNA and their entire understanding and system in place, they can succeed and lead.
Definitely, ma'am. Ma'am, moving on to the next question. How do you cultivate trust in your team, both during periods of growth and during moments of crisis?
One is believing in them. If you believe the team and if you believe in their ability and the fact that you have them appointed at various roles, then you have to trust them and say that whatever decisions they'll take in that moment will be right. What's my role as a leader? I've always believed in leading them from behind and leading them alongside instead of. There are times you have to show them, you have to lead the way and show them how it's done. But then once you show them once, you step back and then you let the team take that chance. So you have to have trust and belief in your team. The second very important aspect is you have to allow them to make those little mistakes. As a leader, if I don't allow the team to make mistakes or don't allow students to make mistakes, they shouldn't be blunders. Little mistakes. Little margin of error has to be there. Something that didn't go right, own up, say I did it like this, but my intention was right, my heart was in the right place, it just didn't work out well. I think we can undo it or we can redo bits on it and make it better. So you have to let them experience and explore that journey. You can't do everything for everybody. That's micromanaging. You can't do that. It's not possible. It's humanly not possible.
That's great advice, ma'am. Ma'am, one trip that changed you as a person?
I was just sharing, and I was in this forum today on adventure, and I realized when it was shared with us that out of all the ideals, adventure is one of the ideals which has had a downfall. And it's been steadily going down because schools are not investing their time in adventure, students are not interested, and teachers are not interested. And I was sharing with them how an act of adventure really transformed my life. So I was in a very low phase of my career, very low, very down, and I was all set, 2003-4, to give up teaching. And I said, I'm not going to be in teaching. And I taught for 8-9 years, and I thought I'm not going to be. And then my husband took me on a 10-day trek, and we went to Dodital. And that trek really transformed me because on that trek, I realized that nobody was encouraging me to take the next step. Nobody was pushing me to go to the next turn. So mountains, they call it in the hills, they call it dhar. So there is a mountain, and then you cross that, and then you see, oh, there's another mountain bend. There's another mountain. So there are bends after bends after bends of mountain when you're walking up the hill. and they call dhar. So the next dhar and then just you have to keep crossing them, and you can't see your destination. It's not a straight road. It's all curvy. So you don't know how far your destination is. And there are times when you're with the group and there are times you're left behind. So who's pushing you? Who's encouraging you? Nobody. You're doing it to yourself. And that's what transformed me to say that no matter what difficult times you're in, there's one person who will always be there with you, and that's you. So you have to encourage yourself. You have to push yourself till you don't take the first step. Nobody else will come forward and take that step. Nobody will know you are there, you see. So it was in that adventure activity or that trek that I realized, and I came back really transformed, ready to take the world on, and said, bring it on. Whatever comes my way, I can manage it and I can solve it.
And ma'am, we are seeing it today. Ma'am, let's now move to the rapid fire round.
Okay.
Your go-to habit for staying focused?
Music.
Oh, that's lovely. One mistake every new leader should avoid?
Oh, that's a very difficult. It's a rapid fire. One mistake every leader should avoid. Don't do everything for the team. You need to let them do it themselves.
Yes.
Don't be overprotective about the team.
One advice you would give to this generation?
Stay away from devices. I'm sure you would have heard it a million times, but honestly, I'm reading this book, and when you came in there and you were waiting to bring me to this podcast, speaking to Sir Avinash, and I was telling him, all children should read this book called The Anxious Generation. It just has changed my mindset so much. I used to say it before as well, that, children are getting so occupied in online games, and before online games, you had Xbox and all that they would play, and then Xbox and all those games became online. But even before that, when you had simple PlayStations, children would play. And I used to say, the fact that children are not taking risks and they're not going out to do things is because their capacity or their need for doing the risky things gets covered in this virtual medium. And you're very happy that, oh, I've done this racing, or I've jumped from there, or you have all sorts of adventures you've done. But in real time, you're not able to take those risks because you don't know the margin of error that is there. On a virtual world, you don't have to worry about the margin of error, but in real life, you have to really be worried about the margin of error. And so this book really talks about how the generation after 2010, after the smartphones became a daily a commodity with everybody in everybody's hands, how the generation changed. So it really worries me as an adult, as a parent, as an educator, in all aspects, that what is going to happen with the generation. So one advice for the young generation is stay away from the digital media as much as possible. Use it for your advantage. Don't be its slaves. I coined this term for my students, and I kept telling them that let's be creators of technology and not just consumers of technology. So if you can create and use that technology, that's fantastic. Don't just get consumed with it.
Yes, true, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
It was lovely having a conversation.
It's been a pleasure to be part of this conversation, and let me share my gyan with you all. Like a typical teacher, we love sharing words of wisdom with everybody.
And ma'am, that was definitely very motivating.
I'm glad that you liked it.
Thank you,
All
ma'am.
the best to all of you. God bless you.